Esports thrives on competition, and we all love good storylines. When old teammates are pitted against each other and years of rivalries are played out, it adds that extra bit of spice to a match. Of course, you always want to win, but when you're playing against your nemesis, you put extra effort into it. A rival spurs us on to go beyond ourselves and surpass ourselves. When you lose to him, you are doubly disappointed, but that also pushes you to be even better next time. That's why this time we're going to show you the biggest rivalries in esports. Top 10. When it comes to Dota 2, there is probably no greater rivalry than the one between China and the West. China used to be the stronger region in competitive Dota, and no one could beat them, but the Western teams never stopped trying. After Navi won TI1, it may have looked like China was slowly crumbling apart, but the next year they came back even stronger, and IG was able to win the TI2. Funnily enough, a pattern developed over the next few years where the Western and Chinese teams alternated every year.
The cycle arose, where winning teams would alternate between Western and Chinese each year up until 2018.
Top 9. In almost no other esport, rivalries and competition are celebrated and acted out as much as in fighting games. In the Super Smash Bros. Melee duel, which is also almost reminiscent of ancient gladiator fights, Mango and Armada have been fighting each other for what feels like an eternity. Both players have their own style and shine with good game mechanics. But Mango was the favorite, and Europe wasn't really considered a hotbed of talent for fighting game players. However, Armada's moment finally came in the grand final of the Genesis tournament, and he was able to hold his own against Mango. Since then, they have faced each other again and again in all kinds of tournaments and have left their mark on the meta of the scene. Top 8. Sometimes competitors manage to bring out the best in each other, and in the Chinese League of Legends League, LPL, the two teams Royal never give up, and Invictus Gaming made sure of that. They are two teams steeped in tradition that have been shaking up and shaping the league properly from the very beginning. Their rivalry reached its peak in 2018, when IG had amassed a win streak of 18 games in the spring split, and could only be defeated by RNG. It all repeated itself in the summer split, and the two met in the finals. For the first time, IG was in the finals of the LPL, and the series went the full length. But in the decisive fifth match, IG lost again against RNG. It was one of the most exciting finals of the LPL.
Dominant game of the split finally secured that Game 5 win to put themselves in front of whoever comes out of EDG versus Rogue Warriors.
Top 7. As far as Call of Duty is concerned, two teams that are known for their rivalry immediately come to mind: FaZe Clan and Optic Gaming. But the rivalry between the two originally started on YouTube, where both teams have been busy uploading Call of Duty content. Both are on about the same level as far as esports go, and both have a track record of success. Even though Optic has developed better in the league, FaZe Clan has always been a respectable opponent. When H also joined the FaZe roster, the rivalry reached its peak, because he was quite good at provoking. Finally, FaZe could defeat Optic at the championship. Top 6. There are quite a few tournaments for all kinds of fighting games, and we've just introduced you to the rivalry between Mango and Armada. But when it comes to fighting games, there's another duo that definitely needs to be mentioned: Daigo Umehara and Justin Wong. The competition is fierce, especially in Street Fighter. No matter which version they play, you definitely get a lot out of a fight between the two, as they both know the limits of their characters. One of the most iconic matches was at EVO 04, when Daigo was almost out of HP, but somehow still managed to land a counter hit and then finish him off with a combo. The crowd was out of their minds. Top 5. Cloud9 joined the NALCS back in Summer Split 2013, and since then they have faced each other in the finals quite a few times. In the early years of the LCS, they were the top teams leading the standings. In 2014, Cloud9 still finished in first place, closely followed by TSM. But when TSM picked up a new mid laner from Europe, the tide turned for them. That's when TSM's golden era began. With Bjergsen's help, the team took first place in 2015 and 2017, but of course that win streak wasn't supposed to last forever. The next year, Cloud9 kicked TSM out of the Worlds, who have since only qualified for it in 2020. Eventually, TSM was never able to match their successes from back then, and will leave the LCS next season. Top 4. For the next two rivals, the competition was mostly somewhat one-sided, Astralis and Team Liquid. Back when Astralis won at IEM Katowice 2019, it was their third consecutive win at a major, making them virtually the best CSGO team ever. By the time Astralis had won pretty much everything, Liquid had then suddenly become their biggest competitor. Between 2018 and 2020, both teams faced each other 9 times in a grand final, and Team Liquid always suffered. However, since the days of online tournaments, this competition just wasn't like it used to be.
And that does mean that they've done it. My oh my, in a year that was...
Top 3. When it comes to League of Legends, there is one team in particular that is considered the best in the world. Korean team T1, formerly called SKT, and known for its star player and GOAT, Faker, has dominated the league since joining the LCK. But even the best team is not unbeatable and has an opponent that can match it. For T1, that was KT Rolster. Before SKT was formed, KT Rolster was already a strong team, but when SKT entered the league, a rivalry was born, also known as the Telecom Wars. SKT was the best team in the world that everyone wanted to beat, and in 2018, KT Rolster finally did it. Back then, they showed that you can beat even a team like T1.
It's the 3-1 victory in the Telecom War of the playoffs, and they're heading to round 2.
KT Rolster eliminate SK Telecom T1 at their lowest...
Top 2. In CSGO, Fnatic used to be one of the best teams along with Ninjas in Pajamas. At DreamHack Winter 2013, NiP was the big favorite at the very first major ever, but in the end, it would be Fnatic who would take the win after owning the server. The teams later clashed again in other grand finals, such as ESL 1 Cologne 2014 and ESL 1 Katowice 2015. In 2014, NiP managed to defeat their rivals in Cologne, but a year later in Katowice, it was Fnatic again who took the title. Again and again the two teams have met, but in the meantime, unfortunately, they are not what they used to be.
People, I think, in Counter-Strike, complete celebration. What a victory and how they deserve it. Lupus, I mean, we did say it.
Top 1. Fnatic is now an established esports organization that has rivalries with other teams in several titles. There was a time when Fnatic dominated the European League of Legends League, and the only ones who could stand up to them at some point were G2. But before the team was even formed, Fnatic had long since made a name for itself and ensured that Europe won the World Championship at least once. But when G2 was born in 2015, they were unstoppable and took first place right in the next season, winning both the spring and summer splits. From 2018 to 2021, they often had to face each other in the finals of the LEC, and most of the time G2 won. These two teams are like Sasuke and Naruto, always trying to outdo each other and prove it to the others.
Are you kidding me? They are diving for the triple kill. Fnatic.
That was our top 10 video of the week. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.